to be highly successful in all the ventures. It's a pleasure to the auspicious August occasion by heartily welcoming everybody. I take this opportunity to call upon Mr. C. Sasikumar sir, Head of the Department, to welcome the gathering. Sir, please.
Okay. So good morning, sir. Good morning to one and all present here. First of all, I would like to thank each one of you joining this national webinar. Thank you, sir. First, it gives my great pleasure to welcome our most respected Dr. S. Arjunan, Principal, sir, who has been a great philosopher and a rich educator and a role model for best leadership quality for students community and also teaching faculties members. So I welcome you, sir. It's my profound gratitude to welcome the chief guest and resource persons of today's national webinar on managing personal finance and wealth creation. Mr. Sri Suryakant Sharma, Senior Consultant, Association of Mutual Fund in India, and a former DGM, Deputy General Manager, Stock Exchange Board of India, who has got a great expert in financial plan, mutual fund, and stock exchange market. I welcome you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. So it's my privilege to welcome all the faculty members from Mahendra Arts and Science College and outside other institutions and industrial resource persons who have participated in this national webinar. Welcome you, sir. I welcome you, sir, madam. Finally, I express my deepest satisfaction and a wholehearted welcome to all the students participate from Mahendra Arts and Science College and MBA students from Mahendra Engineering College, who are the real beneficiaries of today's national webinar. Once again, I welcome you all. Welcome you, sir. Thank you. Thank you for giving opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
A leader is one who lights the path to the impossible and takes those who follow to great heights. It's an injustice to proceed to the event without calling up our wings of the flight, our pillar of strength and constant source of motivation. We cordially invite our principal, sir, Dr. S. Arjunan, sir, to deliver keynote address. Sir, please.
Thank you, madam. Am I audible, madam? No?
Sir?
Hello.
Sir?
Am I audible, madam?
Yes, audible,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Audible,
Thank
sir.
you.
Audible.
Thank you very much, madam. The most respected resource person of today's webinar, Sri Suryakant Sharma, Head of the Department of BBA, Mahendra Arts and Science College, Professor Sasikumar, the team members of the BBA department, Dr. Jayalakshmi, Dr. Shankar, and Mrs. Kausalya, faculty fraternities of various departments, and my dear participants, a hearty welcome and good morning to all of you. Indeed, it is a happy moment for me to associate with you on the occasion of this live national webinar on the managing personal finance and wealth creation, organized by the Department of BBA Mahendra Arts and Science College. At the outset, I would like to convey my heartfelt thanks to our chief guest, the resource person, Sri Suryakant Sharma sir, for accepting our request and to be here as a resource person for this national webinar. So, on behalf of the management of Mahendra Arts and Science College, the principal, the Department of Business Administration, and all the heads, I convey my special thanks to you, sir, for accepting our request and to be here in our midst to grace this occasion of this national level live webinar. Thank you very much, sir. And I'm also
Thank-
indebted to convey my special appreciation to Mr. Sasikumar and his team of faculty fraternities who made sincere and meticulous efforts for organizing this webinar. I know the pain, the efforts that they have taken for the past 3 weeks in order to organize this webinar, to get the appointment from the resource person right from, and also by keeping in regular touch with the resource person, they have made the day into a fruitful one. So my special wishes as well as appreciation goes to the team members for organizing this wonderful webinar. And my sincere thanks also goes to all the participants whomever responded our invitation on attending this webinar on managing personal finance and wealth creation. In fact, we have got an excellent resource person today who has a very good reputation as the senior consultant in Association of Mutual Funds in India, and also served as the former Deputy General Manager in Security Exchange Board of India. Sir is going to give a valuable guidance to all of us, and he is going to share his valuable knowledge that he has gained on the management of finance. As you all know very well, that finance, the management of finance in personal life is a key factor for getting success in life. So fortunately, today we have got an excellent resource person, Dr. Suryakant Sharma, to share his valuable information on this financial management and wealth creation. So I'm sure that this webinar is going to be a fruitful one, going to give lots of inputs on financial management to the students community. It is all our responsibility to grab this opportunity and to make this event into a fruitful and a successful one. Wish you all the very best. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Next, he who has passion towards respected field will attain great heights that he actually deserves. We have such a good, great personality today amidst us. Now, I am glad to invite Dr. M. Shankar, Assistant Professor, Department of Business Administration, to deliver Chief Guest introduction. Sir, please.
Am I audible? ma'am?
Yes, sir. Audible.
Good morning to one and all present here. It's my pleasure and privilege to introduce today's chief guest, Sri Suryakant Sharma sir. Suryakant Sharma sir is a commerce graduate and master's in law with a specialization in corporate laws. Sir also Chartered Associate of Indian Institute of Banking and Finance. Sri Sharma sir has over 35 years of experience in banking, finance, and securities market. And sir has served in leading financial institutions, Department of Financial Services, Ministry of Finance, and Government of India and SEBI. Sri Sharma sir joined in Securities Exchange Board of India in 2003 and sir served for more than 15 years. Lastly, sir was a Deputy General Manager in charge of Office of Investors Awareness and Education in SEBI's Northern region for more than 5 years. Under his superannuation, more than 15,000 investors awareness programs were conducted across the North India, and sir himself has addressed as a chief guest speaker in more than 500 investors awareness programs. After the superannuation from SEBI in 2019, sir has joined in Association of Mutual Funds India and affects body of Mutual Funds India as a senior consultant North India. Once again, on the behalf of Department of Business Administration, Mahendra Arts and Science College, I welcome you, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Now invite our prodigious personality, Shri Suryakant Sharma, sir, Senior Consultant, Association of Mutual Funds in India, former DGM SEBI, to deliver his speech. Sir, please.
Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir,
Yes,
audible, audible, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Respected friends.
Please, sir, unmute your audio option, sir. Please, sir. Suryakant Sharma, sir, please unmute your audio option.
Hello, Mr. Sabjar.
Yes, sir.
Kindly unmute me. I joined from my laptop now.
Sir, please, sir, on your video, sir, please, sir.
Dell. It is Dell. DELL.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you. Okay, sir. Thank you. Sir, please unmute your audio option also, sir.
Okay. Got it? Thank you very much. Respected principal, respected HOD, Dr. B. Jayalakshmi, Mr. Sankar, and all faculty members and staff members of the esteemed institution, and my dear students, I am thankful to all of you for giving me opportunity to talk to you about our money. Vijay Lakshmi, you will appreciate that we are least interested to talk about our money because we feel we know everything. Why we should talk to others about money? So this is a general feeling of all Indians that we hardly talk about our personal finance with others. And we have a feeling and rather wrong confidence that we know everything about the money, how to manage money, how to earn money, everything we know. So why we should talk about with others? But I feel, Dr. Jayalakshmi, we will have, the time has come that we should have with open heart talk about our personal finance, because the world is changing, everything is changing so fast. So I would request all the participants kindly be open and interact with me on the subject we have discussed today. 2-3 things. Dr. Vijay Lakshmi, kindly permit me to take your name again and again during my session, because through you I want to connect with all the participants. I hope you wouldn't mind. Dr. Vijay Lakshmi, am I audible to you?
Vijay Lakshmi ma'am, please unmute your audio option, ma'am. Jay Lakshmi ma'am, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
Okay.
Audible, sir. Yes.
Thank you very much. And I would be very happy if 4 or 5 videos are on during my session, that I feel that I am connected to all of you. If all videos are off, sometime a feeling creeps into whom I am talking to. So kindly at least keep 3-4 videos of your main core committee members. Videos should be on. 2-3 things I wish to clarify here before I start my session, Mr. Sankar. That this program is from Association of Mutual Fund in India, Amfi. But Dr. Vijay Lakshmi, this is not a marketing event or a promotional event of mutual fund. Kindly, I want to make it very clear. It is purely an investor awareness program where we will discuss about the importance of money, how we can better manage our money, the way we are managing today. Is there any other way through which we can manage our money in a more efficient manner? Secondly, since this program is for the participants, I will request all the participants, particularly your students, kindly have a notebook and paper with them and pen with them, so that they can note down anything they found, new idea or new information in my session, Mr. Sankar, so that they can explore those information through Google website. Because now everything is available on Google and website, we all know. But These programs to sensitize your students and your family members to explore the subject in detail. Thirdly, since this program is for the participant, I would be very happy if more and more questions come, Dr. Jai Lakshmi, more and more questions come from the participants, because that will be a reflection that they have taken interest in the subject, they have joined, and they have got doubts also about the subject. So kindly keep sending your messages in the chat box about any of your query or doubt about the subject. And once my session is over, Mr. Shankar or Dr. Vijay Lakshmi will take those messages and I will try to answer all questions. And we will also make the town hall open once the session is over. Now, first thing I want to request Dr. Jai Lakshmi, I want a very simple question to you. Kindly answer this question. Very simple question. Why we are so much mad about the money? Most of us, you may not be, but most of us, why we are so much mad about the money? We run about the money, we think about the money all the time. Why it is so? Can you tell me something?
Sir, investing the money in the proper way, that is secured, is very important, sir. Investing in each and every industry is not enough, but the security is important, and also for giving the advantage for the future purpose. So only we have to get a awareness regarding the mutual funds. In this day also, number of people didn't get the proper advantages through the mutual funds. Whatever the person has to invest in the mutual funds, they got lot of barriers and obstacles. They don't know what are the advantages. They have to wait for the long period to get back the money. So they have to give the awareness regarding the mutual funds. So what are the functions? How the person has to involve in the operations of the mutual funds. So we have to get a detailed information about this to create the awareness.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Okay.
No, I was not talking about mutual fund.
Yes, sir.
But just inquiring why we are so much passionate about the money. We talk about the money day in, day out, Mr. Shankar. We think about the money day in, day out. Yes, it is a fact of our life. Because people say that money is not God, but money is not less than God. It is also a fact of life. That money is not God, but money is not less than God. So money is very important in our life. And I feel that we should know about the importance of money in our life. So tell me one thing, what money gives us? Mr. Shankar, can you tell me what two basic important thing money gives us in our life? Can you unmute yourself? Mr. Sabjar, yeah.
Do you hear me, sir? Do you hear me, sir?
Yeah,
Hello?
Mr. Shankar. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, sir. Actually, the money nowadays became a very important thing because it's a very useful. Now it's become a very useful thing for our survival. Okay, nowadays the people are made that without the money we can't survive. But we need to fulfill our basic amenities. For that is money required. For that we had to earn more and more.
Mr. Shankar, you are very right. But I feel money gives us two very important things in our life. And Dr. Jai Lakshmi might also agree with me. First is, money gives us prosperity. Everything, basic needs, comfort, luxury, everything money gives us. And secondly, Mr. Shankar, money also gives us security. When we have plenty of money, we feel secure. Okay, Baba, no problem. I have got a lot of money with me, plenty of money in my bank account. If anything happens to me, then I will manage with that money. That feeling comes in our mind, but only when we have plenty of money. One day, Mr. Shankar will have 100 crore in his bank account. Would you have? Definitely you would have that. So Mr. Shankar is smiling because we know that Shankar knows it very well that at least by service, we would not be having that much of money in our life. We will do have reasonable money, Mr. Shankar, but we will not have plenty of money in our life. So first thing, how we can develop security in our life. Mr. Shankar, this is very important. Because before talking about the prosperity, Dr. Jayalakshmi, we should first develop the security for myself and for our family. Because once we develop security, only then we should think about the prosperity. And now you tell me, Mr. Shankar, how we can develop security. We can develop security in our life by doing these three things in our life. Kindly note it down. Mr. Shankar is a very young professor. Jayalakshmi is also a very young professor. So if you have not done these three things in your life, kindly do these three things as early as you can. And I am requesting all your students also. They are not earning today, but they would start earning very soon down the line in 1 or 2, 3, 4 years. So they should also first think about developing security in our life. And Mr. Shankar, we can develop security in our life by doing these three things. Kindly note it down if you wish to note it down. The first thing is, we should have adequate life insurance cover. All earners, all who are earning, I can see a lot of faculty members are sitting in the hall. And I am requesting all of you, kindly develop adequate life insurance cover in your life. And more so, Mr. Shankar and Mr. Jayalakshmi and all young faculty members. Why we take life insurance cover, Mr. Shankar? Are you aware? Because we feel that life is pretty uncertain. Today we are live, we are doing everything, my family is going okay, everything is going well. But if fear is always in our mind, back of mind, Mr. Shankar, that what happens tomorrow if I am not available to my family because of death or because of some permanent disability. I am not giving you any negative feeling, but it is a fact of life that life is pretty uncertain, Dr. Jayalakshmi. And to overcome that uncertainty, we should have adequate life insurance cover. Mr. Shankar, life insurance cover will give a comfort and security to our family that in case I am not available to them tomorrow, they will at least not face any financial problem. Of course, social problem will be there, social problems will be there, but at least they will not have any financial problem because life insurance cover will give them reasonable or rather good amount to manage their monthly affairs, not only monthly affairs, but also the education of children and other family obligations which we have planned. So we should take adequate life insurance cover. And Mr. Shankar, nowadays, a very good insurance product is available in the market for young investors like you and Dr. Vijay Lakshmi, which was not available in my time, at least Honorable Principal's time, it was not available, but now it is available. That product name is term insurance, TERM, term insurance. Kindly note it down. Term insurance is a genuine insurance product, Mr. Shankar, where you can develop adequate life insurance cover by paying a very small amount. And Mr. Shankar, first we should understand how much life insurance cover we should take. That is a very important question. And the thumb rule for that is, Mr. Shankar, is our life insurance cover should be minimum 10 times of our annual income. Minimum 10 times. Suppose, Mr. Shankar, your annual package in the college is around 20 lakhs. Then how much life insurance you should have? You should have not less than 2 crore life insurance cover. I don't think you have taken that much of life insurance cover. And even Dr. Jayalakshmi might have not have taken that level of my life insurance cover in your life. But kindly understand, life insurance cover has to be adequate. Normally, typically what happens, Mr. Shankar, we do take life insurance cover, but that is 5 lakh, 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs. It is not sufficient, my dear friends. Kindly understand it. It has to be adequate. And adequacy definition is, it should be minimum 10 times of your annual income. Suppose your income is 20 lakhs, then ideally you should have 22 crore life insurance cover. And Dr. Jayalakshmi, with regard to life insurance, one rule is also there. early you take, lesser will be the premium. Because the life insurance cover premium, Mr. Shankar, is directly related to your age. You are very young, and if you take life insurance cover today, your premium will be very less. But if you take it, Dr. Jayalakshmi, after 10, 15 years, premium will be exorbitant. Rather, you will not be able to take adequate life insurance cover. So kindly don't keep deferring the decision of taking adequate. Generally, what we are leave it. We will take out next month, next year. We will take after 5 years. I am very young. What is going to happen with me? We all think about this on these lines. But no, my dear friends. Life is pretty uncertain. Anything can happen to anybody at any time. So kindly take adequate life insurance cover, and it should be adequate. And term insurance is the best product. Mr. Shankar, if your age is of 30 years today, you can take a life insurance cover of 1 crore rupees by paying a monthly premium of hardly 500 rupees or 600 rupees, which anybody can afford. So kindly take adequate life insurance cover. This is my first request to all of you, to develop security for your family. Second thing I want to request with regard to security, Dr. Jayalakshmi, is kindly take adequate health insurance cover for yourself and for your family as well. And Dr. Jayalakshmi, generally people get, I am taking your name again and again, but don't, other participants should not confuse that I am taking only the name of Dr. Jayalakshmi or Mr. Shankar. I am addressing to all the participants through both of you. So I am addressing to all the participants. So second request is kindly take adequate health insurance cover. And Mr. Shankar, people generally get confused when I have taken life insurance cover, why I should take health insurance cover. But my dear participants, both are different. The purposes in our life of both the products are different. Life insurance cover, Shankar, we take that in case of my death, my family will get a good amount on which they can survive. At least they will have least financial problem. But health insurance cover, Dr. Jayalakshmi, we take that in case of any medical emergency, any accident, any disease discovery all of a sudden, and where we will go, Dr. Jayalakshmi, we will be forced to go to the best private hospital, because unfortunately government hospitals are not up to mark. So, but in private hospitals, Mr. Shankar, when we visit, they charge exorbitantly. If a person remains there in hospitalized for 10, 15 days, Dr. Jayalakshmi, they may raise a bill of more than 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs. From where that money will come if we don't have health insurance cover? That is why I keep requesting my participants, kindly take adequate health insurance cover. Adequate health insurance cover will ensure that in case of any medical emergency, you go to the best hospital, get the best treatment, and all hospital expenses will be directly paid by the insurance company to the hospital. You will not be required to pay anything. You go to the hospital, get the best treatment, come home recovered without paying anything. That is the purpose of adequate health insurance cover. And nowadays, a very good health insurance product is available in the market, Dr. Jayalakshmi. That is unique product. Name of that product is Floater Health Insurance Cover, FLOATER, Floater Health Insurance Cover. It is also called Umbrella Health Insurance Cover. In this health insurance cover, Mr. Shankar, what typically happens that when you take this insurance cover, Dr. Jayalakshmi, not only you are covered, you can also include the name of your spouse, your husband or wife. You can also add the name of your kids, your children, and you can even add the name of your parents and in-laws. So in one singular policy, all the family members are covered. If anything happens with any member of the family, we can go to the best hospital available in the area, get the best treatment, come home recovered without paying anything. So kindly take adequate health insurance cover. And what should be the adequacy, ma'am? If you are in metro city, then your family should have a health insurance cover of around 25 to 30 lakhs. But if you are in 2-tier or 3-tier cities, then you can take a health insurance cover of around 15 to 20 lakhs for the whole family. And for both the premiums of life insurance covered and health insurance covered, Dr. Jayalakshmi, income tax deduction is allowed under section 80C and different section. So you can also get benefit or the payment of premium, but that is not the main benefit. Kindly don't, this is incidental benefit. The main benefit is much bigger. So second request is kindly take adequate floater health insurance cover or umbrella health insurance cover for the whole family. And here again, Dr. Jayalakshmi, early you take, lesser will be the premium because the premium is related to age. So kindly don't keep deferring the decision of taking health insurance cover. This is the second request. Now the third request, Dr. Jayalakshmi, this pandemic has taught us a lot of lessons. We have changed a lot. You had you imagined that we will talk in this mode before pandemic? We had not thought of it, but it has happened. So pandemic has taught us hundreds of lessons, but the most important lesson pandemic has taught to all of us is every family must have an emergency fund of around 5 to 7 lakh all the time. Every family must have an emergency fund of around 5 to 7 lakhs all the time. Why we should have, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi, definitely you will ask me, why, first of all, why we should have emergency fund? Dr. Jay Lakshmi, you are very lucky. Your job continued in the college. You continued to get the salary. But at the same time, we are aware that lakhs of people had lost their job in pandemic. Lakhs of people have got substantial reduction in their income, in their salaries. Businesses were closed. Professions were closed for months together, rather for more than a year. And people had passed through a very, very tough time. And Dr. Jayalakshmi, this pandemic has still not gone. It is still there. Newer and newer viruses are coming every day. So in case something happens to our job temporarily for 6 months or 1 year, we are out of job or out of business or out of profession, I am able to manage my family affairs, my family expenses for 1 year. That is the first, that is the purpose of developing emergency fund for the family. And Dr. Jayalakshmi, 5 to 7 lakh is not a small amount for all of us. It is a big amount, but we can develop it over a period of time, maybe 3 years, maybe 4 years. But once you have developed this amount, this fund, you have to make a promise with yourself that we will never use this emergency fund for any other purpose except for the emergency. This promise we have to make with ourselves, taking our family into confidence that we will keep this emergency fund apart. We will not use this emergency fund for any other purpose except for the emergency. So the third request is kindly develop an emergency fund. And these three things, I again repeat, Dr. Jayalakshmi, adequate life insurance cover, adequate health insurance cover, and emergency fund of around 5 to 7 lakhs will give you security only in your life. And I personally feel, Dr. Jayalakshmi, that we human beings first develop security. Then we should think about the prosperity. So now we will talk about the prosperity aspect of the money. Dr. Jayalakshmi, can you tell me what is the main source of money for all of us, those who are salary class persons? What is the main source of money? Or salary? Or salary is our main source of money? Am I right?
It's a salary person. With the help of the salaries, they can manage all expenses.
Absolutely. So salary is the main source of income for all of us. And what we do with the salary, Dr. Jayalakshmi, a majority of our salary goes into taking care of our monthly expenses, normal regular expenses, grocery, rental, petrol, education, a lot of things we take care of through our monthly salary. But Dr. Jayalakshmi, you are well aware that we Indians have a typical DNA. We all have that typical DNA. What is that? Every Indian sincerely try to take away some money out of their income, which they don't want to spend. We sincerely try. Even a person who is earning 10,000 a month will sincerely try to take away 500 or 600 or 1,000 rupees out of their income. And the money which we don't spend out of our income, Dr. Jayalakshmi, what we call it? We call it savings. We call it savings. So we are all savers. We are all savers. So I'm nothing new. I am telling to all of you. We are all Indians are best savers in the world. So we sincerely try to save the money. But Dr. Jayalakshmi, one thing we lack. We do save, but we are casual about saving. Casual in the sense that this month Dr. Jayalakshmi is saving 10,000 a month. Next month she might be saving 12,000 a month. Third month it might be 5,000. Fourth month it might be 8,000. And fifth month it may even be 0. So we are very casual. So, but I want to request to all of you, and even your student must understand, this is very important thing I am telling to all of you. Kindly identify an amount of saving which you can comfortably do every month. I am not prescribing, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi, that you should save 20% of your income, 30% for, no, what I am saying is, you please identify. Suppose you say that your monthly salary is 50,000 a month, and you say that your monthly expenses are around 40,000 a month, then what you are indirectly saying is that you can save 10,000 a month. Am I right? So my request then is very simple but emphatic. Kindly save this 10,000 upfront. The moment you get the salary, take the 10,000 away from your bank account. Forget as if you have earned 10,000. Manage your affairs with 40,000. This discipline has to be developed. This is very, very important for our prosperity, for middle class, salary class person. So kindly identify an amount of saving and then keep saving that amount religiously every month, come what may. This promise, Dr. Jayalakshmi, it is not easy, it is tough, but it is not impossible. We can do it. We can develop this habit. We can develop this discipline. We have to develop this. So my dear participants, I will request all of you, kindly identify an amount of saving and then religiously save that amount, Mr. Shankar, every month without fail. This is first request. Then second request is, kindly keep increasing your saving minimum by 10% every year. Every year you should increase your saving. And Mr. Shankar, how it can be possible? Are you aware? You are aware it is possible. Because we get increment, we get DNS allowance, we get some other allowances, we get promotions in between. So our income keep increasing every year. So with the increase in income, Mr. Shankar, we should also increase our saving minimum by 10% every year. Suppose this year, Dr. Jayalakshmi, you are saving 10,000 a month. Then next year it should be 11,000 a month. And third year it should be 12,100. I know it is tough, but Mr. Shankar, it is not impossible. But you have to sacrifice something. You have to develop a confidence and discipline that if I want to be prosper, I will have to sacrifice something. I will have to develop some discipline. So second request is, kindly keep increasing your saving minimum by 10% every year. And Mr. Shankar, if you do these three things, you will remember me after 20 years. I may not meet you, but after 20 years, if you practice these two very small things in your life will change, I can promise you. So kindly develop the habit of identify amount of saving, then doing it every month religiously, and then keep increasing your saving minimum by 10% every year. Now the next question arises, Mr. Shankar. Of course, now we are saving, we will save, no problem. What to do with the savings? What to do? What we do with the savings? There are two ways, my dear friend. My dear participant, there are two ways to deal with the savings. First way, Dr. Jayalakshmi, is, and this practice, a fool person like me only can do it. What I am doing is, I am religiously saving a particular amount every month. But what I am doing, I am withdrawing that amount from my bank account, counting it currency and keep it at home every month. I am doing it. Religiously, I am doing it. But it is a gross injustice to ourselves, to our family, to our country as a whole, my dear participants. Never, never, never do this. Don't keep your saving at home in currency form or in your bank account, SB account. It is a gross injustice. Naturally, Mr. Shankar will then ask me, sir, then what to do? Yes, my dear friend, there is other way around. which we all should do. And what is that way? We should put our savings, number one, Mr. Shankar, into acquisition or purchase of some assets, value of which will increase in future. Number one, we should purchase or acquire some assets, value of which will increase in future, and or we should put our savings into some financial instrument, Mr. Shankar, which will give us periodical and regular return in future. And the process of putting our savings into in assets or in financial instrument, Dr. Jayalakshmi, you might be aware, you are a professor, it is called investment. It is called investment. So saving is the first step, my dear friend, and investment is the second step. If you save and don't invest, Mr. Shankar, the purpose of saving itself will be defeated. Better not to save and enjoy your money. So we should not only save the some amount from our salary, we should also invest our this saving into some asset or in some financial instrument. Because only investment will create wealth for you, my dear participants. Kindly understand. All, Mr. Shankar, only investment is going to create wealth for you. Savings are not going to create wealth for you. So you will be prosper only through investment. Kindly understand it very carefully. So, Dr. Jayalakshmi, we should not only have to be saver, but we should also have to be investor. If saving is the first step, investment is the second step. And we are all doing it. Dr. Jayalakshmi, you will agree with me that those who are earning are definitely putting their savings into one or other form in one instrument or other. We are all doing it. So we are all investors. But unfortunately, I don't know whether Dr. Jayalakshmi will agree with me, whether other faculty members will agree with me. Unfortunately, madam, most of us, despite saving and investment, most of the middle class, salary class person, kindly understand it very carefully. Most of middle class, salary class person, despite saving and investment, they just remain money accumulators in their life. They don't become wealth creators. I am using two different terms. One is wealth creation, one is money accumulation, and other is wealth creation. Both are different. But unfortunately, most of the middle class, salary class person, Dr. Jayalakshmi, despite their sincere and best efforts in saving and investment, they just remain money accumulators only. They don't become wealth creators. But my dear participants, you must understand and appreciate that prosperity will come only through wealth creation. It will never come through money accumulation. Kindly mind it. Prosperity will come only through wealth creation. So first we should understand what is the difference between money accumulation and wealth creation. And for that, Dr. Jayalakshmi, kindly permit me to take your name again in an example which I am sharing with all of you. And through you, I will try to give some idea about the difference between money accumulation and wealth creation. And the example is very simple, Dr. Jayalakshmi. Example I am taking is of bank FD, bank fixed deposit. Everybody knows about the bank FD. And Dr. Jayalakshmi must have done FDs with the banks, and all the faculty members must have done it. It is very natural. We all go for the bank FD. Dr. Vijay Lakshmi goes for she has got 1 lakh rupees with her, and she goes for a bank FD for 1 year. In the example. And you go with a good bank, and Dr. Jayalakshmi, you are aware that now the present rate of interest for bank FD is around 6% for 1 year, around 6%. So you go for a 1 year bank FD. After 1 year, when I meet you and just ask you, Dr. Jayalakshmi, what happened to your bank FD? Dr. Jayalakshmi is very, very happy. She is smiling. But she says that she has earned 6,000 rupees as bank interest income. Am I right, ma'am? If the interest rate is 6%, your answer will be that you have earned 6,000 rupees as bank interest and you are happy. You are very happy that you earned 6,000 rupees. And you are, after 1 year, your money has been given back by the bank. And 6,000 bank interest has also been given to you. And you are happy. When I ask you, ma'am, are you right or wrong? You might get annoyed. You will simply say, what is wrong with you asking this question? I am absolutely right. You can see my passbook. I have got a credit of 6,000 rupees at bank interest income, and my money has been given back by the bank. So you are right. You are right, but you are not right, Dr. Jayalakshmi. You are right because you got 6,000. That is, yes, it is a fact. But while analyzing return on your investment, FD was also an investment, ma'am. You will agree with me. While analyzing return on investment, you literally ignore two very important factors. You are very happy when you got 6,000, but in reality, you got nothing. How? I just explained you. There are two factors which we normally ignore while analyzing our return. The first factor, Dr. Jayalakshmi, is inflation. And we all know about the inflation. We talk about the inflation day in, day out at home. Dr. Jayalakshmi might have scolded her children in today morning itself. Try to excuse the expenses. Inflation is there. The prices are increasing for every item. Even at staff room, the hot discussion is inflation only nowadays. So what is inflation, Dr. Jayalakshmi? Simply speaking, inflation is nothing but increase in the prices of goods, item, or services over a period of time. Am I right? Inflation is nothing, my dear participants, but increase in the prices of goods, item, or services over a period of time. Last year, when Dr. Jayalakshmi was going for bank FD, instead of going for bank FD, had she purchased some items or availed some services of 1 lakh rupees, Dr. Jayalakshmi, can you tell me, after 1 year, would you be able to purchase same items, same goods, or avail same services at 1 lakh rupees after 1 year? Would it be possible? It will not be possible. Because of inflation, prices of those items and services have increased. Suppose the inflation rate has been 5%. What does it mean? It simply means that last year, Dr. Jayalakshmi could have purchased some items or goods or availed some services at 1 lakh rupees. But after 1 year, for the same items, same goods and same services, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi will need to pay not 1 lakh rupees, but 1,05,000 rupees because inflation rate has been 5%. Am I right, ma'am? So you see the proposition. Out of 6,000 you earn, in actuality, 5,000 has been eaten by the inflation. We generally ignore such very important factor. So out of 6,000 you earn, 5,000 has been eaten by the inflation. But still you are happy. You say, okay, no, Baba, no, let it be. But I still have 1,000 rupees with you. No, ma'am. There is another factor which we normally ignore. What is that? Most of the income and return, Dr. Jayalakshmi, you must be aware, are taxable under Income Tax Act. Government, Mr. Shankar, you must be aware that government take income tax on most of the return or income and all these things. With regard to FD, Mr. Shankar, you might have a misunderstanding. With regard to FD, every penny of FD is taxable as per your slab, my dear friend. You might not be aware. Every penny, suppose you earn 6,000. So 6,000 will be treated as your income, Dr. Jayalakshmi, and you will need to pay income tax as per your slab. Suppose you are in 20% bracket, then on 6,000, 20% become 1,200. You will need to pay 1,200 as income tax. And Mr. Shankar, one more thing is there nowadays. In my times, most of people would not include such income. Let it be. Who will come from income tax department to collect this income tax? But now, my dear, because of technology, all such information is automatically available with the income tax department. So if you don't include such income in your income tax return, Mr. Shankar, there is a possibility that you might get a notice from the income tax department. My dear Shankar, you had earned 6,000 rupees as bank interest income. You are bound to include in you and pay income tax. You didn't. Now pay the income tax and penalty also. So now we can't avoid it. So now you see the proposition, Dr. Jayalakshmi. You are very happy when you earn 6,000 as bank interest. But in reality, out of 6,000, 5,000 has been eaten by the inflation, and 1,200 you have paid as income tax. Did anything remain with you? No. Rather, 200 rupees has gone out of your pocket. So 6,000 rupees which you earned, Mr. Shankar, was your notional income. There was no real return or real income. Kindly mind it. Is it very important thing I'm telling all of you? And unless and until we earn some real return on our investment, we will not be prosper. We will not be creating wealth. This is very fact. It's a fact of investment. So I take this example forward, Dr. Jayalakshmi. Suppose the interest rate is 8%. Suppose the bank interest rate is 8%. In that scenario, Mr. Shankar, Dr. Jayalakshmi will get 8,000 as bank interest income. Out of that, again, keeping inflation at 5%, 5,000 will be eaten by the inflation. Again, 20% income tax she will need to pay. 20% of 8,000 is 1,600. So even after paying income tax, Mr. Shankar, in this context, there remain 1,400. 8,000 minus 5,000 minus 1,600 remain 1,400. And Mr. Shankar, 1,400 is your real return. Mind it. So if you don't get real return, Jayalakshmi ma'am, and all the participants kindly understand it very carefully. The purpose of saving and investment itself is defeated. We must earn some real return on our investment. And what is the formula of real return, my dear participant? If you wish to note it down, note it down. Formula is very simple, Dr. Jayalakshmi. Real return equal to notional return, that is 6,000 or 8,000. Minus inflation, that is 5,000. Minus tax liability, Fanny, that is 1,200 and 1,600. In the first scenario, Dr. Jayalakshmi, there was no real return. In the second scenario of 8%, there was a real return of 14%. That 1,400 is going to create wealth for you. So, my dear participant, we must make sincere efforts to earn some real return on our investment. We must not satisfy with the notional return. Kindly understand the difference between, I think by now, Dr. Jayalakshmi, you must have understood the difference between real return and notional return. Notional return is simply what we get, but we should deduct inflation and tax liability from notional return, and whatever remains is your real return. So, my dear participants, for our prosperity, the precondition is that we must earn some real return on all our investments. So I will request Dr. Jayalakshmi and all faculty members today go to the home, take out papers of your all investment and analyze whether you are earning real return on your investment. If you are not, then think of switching of those investments in other products where you earn some real return. Because prosperity will come only through real return. Now the next question arises, Dr. Jayalakshmi. Why it is so that most of us don't earn real return? Why it is so? There is some reason. Yes, there is a reason is there. And the reason is not outside somewhere else. My dear participants, kindly understand it. Reason lies in our mind. We middle class, salary class person, Dr. Jayalakshmi has got a typical mindset. I don't know whether you will agree with me or not, but we all have typical mindset. What is your mindset? Typical, Mr. Shankar? We don't want to take any risk in investment. Arey Baba, no. When I talk something about risk, Dr. Jayalakshmi will write in the chat box, sir, don't talk about the risk. We don't want to take any risk. Normally, it happens with all of us. Normal middle class, salary class person don't want to take risk. What we talk about? We talk about safe investment. People will send some chat box messages, tell about something about the safe investment. But my dear participants, even students, they should understand very clearly. I am very blunt. You may not agree with me, Dr. Jayalakshmi, but the fact of the investment philosophy is that there is no real term of safe investment. In investment, risk is there. Kindly understand it very carefully. In investment, risk is there, except some governmental schemes, which we'll discuss afterwards. So in most of the investment, my dear participant, risk is there. And what is typical risk, ma'am, generally? If I invested some money somewhere, I lost that money. That is a greater risk. Or I didn't get anything, rather my money got reduced. That is also another risk. And third risk is not getting any real return on investment is also a risk. Because then why we are investing? Why we are saving in investing? So my dear participant, first kindly, sincerely accept that in investment, most of the investment risk is there. Risk is there, except some governmental saving scheme, which are, there is no risk because government guarantee, sovereign guarantee is there. So risk is there. Now the next question, Dr. Jayalakshmi, naturally will come on in our mind is how we can manage our risk. If risk cannot be excused, then definitely my mind will say, try to manage the risk, try to minimize the risk. This is a natural thinking will come in our mind. Yes, my dear participants, I can tell all of you, we can manage our risk, we can minimize our risk. Yes, we can. Dr. Jayalakshmi, I am giving confidence through you to all the participants. Mr. Shankar, we can manage our risk, we can minimize your risk, but my risk can never be zero. Mind it, it is again a fact. Some degree of risk will always be there. In some products, it is high risk. In some product, it is moderate risk. In some product, it is low risk. But in most of the product, that is Dr. Jayalakshmi, risk is there. But we can manage it. We can minimize it. How? Dr. Jayalakshmi, you will ask me then how we can manage our risk. How we can, because everybody will like to minimize their risk. Everybody will like to manage their risk. Yes, my dear participants, we can manage your risk. We can minimize your risk through a very simple formula. Note it down. Very simple two-word formula I am sharing with all of you. This formula is going to change your life forever. But Dr. Jayalakshmi, it will not change if you write on the paper and leave it. No, it is not going to change. It will change only, Mr. Shankar, when you practice this formula in your life, in your investment. And formula is very simple, my dear friends. Mr. Shankar, I'm specifically addressing to you and all the participants. Note this formula down. Very simple two-word formula. And formula is think, understand, and invest. Only two words I have used, Dr. Jayalakshmi. Think, understand, and invest. Think, understand, and invest. The first word I have used here, Dr. Jayalakshmi, is think. What we have to think? We have to think two things about ourselves. First, what we have to think two things about ourselves, Mr. Shankar, you noted down. First is, Dr. Jayalakshmi, what is my risk appetite? Every individual has got different risk appetite, my dear friends. Dr. Jayalakshmi has got different risk appetite. Mr. Shankar has got different one. Other participant have got, because our income is different, our family structure is different, or social structure, everything is different. So our individual risk appetite, risk-taking capacity, Dr. Jayalakshmi, is different. And secondly, my risk appetite is not a constant factor. It will keep changing according to the age. Kindly mind it. So it is a variable. Risk taking capacity is not a permanent one, Mr. Shankar. You are young, you can take high risk, but I can't take high degree of risk because a lot of other factors are there. So every individual has got different risk appetite. Kindly mind it. Kindly mind it. And to make you understand this concept, Mr. Shankar, I will just share you a very new idea to all of you. I am dividing our active life into 3 phases, Mr. Shankar. And active life simply means when I start earning and when I get retired. In between period is your active life. And normally, Dr. Jayalakshmi, it is between 25 years to 60 years. Normally, we start earning around 25 years, normally. And we get retired around 60. You may be earning even after 60, you got even before 25. But normally active life is between 25 to 60. Am I right, Mr. Shankar? So I am dividing this active life into 3 phases. First phase is between 25 to 40. And fortunately, Mr. Shankar and Mr. Jayalakshmi ma'am and all of your faculty members are in this category. Am I right? You are in the first phase, between 25 to 40. And my dear young participants, those who are between 25 to 40, and even students should understand what I am saying now. Dr. Jayalakshmi and Mr. Shankar, this is the golden period of your life. Understand it what I am saying. This is the golden period of your life. Kindly make best use of it. How? Try to save as much as you can. Because you have started earning, Mr. Shankar, but your liabilities are relatively lesser. Relatively, your liability is lesser. You might not even be married, or even married. Children are very small. They don't have grown up. So you can save as much as you can in this phase of life, Mr. Shankar. First thing. Secondly, Dr. Jayalakshmi, you can take risk in this phase of life. You can take risk because you have got longer period to go, Mr. Shankar. You still have got 25, 30 years to go. I don't have that luxury with me. So you can take risk, but risk should be calculated. It should not be blind risk. But your whole emphasis in this phase of life, my dear young participants, that you should save as much as you can. And your whole focus should be, Dr. Jayalakshmi, earning maximum real return on your investment should be your focus in this phase of life. Even by taking some risk, but risk should be calculated. So kindly understand, in this phase of life, you should save as much as you can, and you should invest your money savings into such manner that you earn maximum real return on your investment. And your focus should be only and only on getting maximum real return. And I am not repeating now what real return is. Dr. Jayalakshmi, we have already discussed what real return is. So you should focus on maximizing real return on your investment, because that is only going to create wealth for you and you make way for your prosperity. So in the first phase of life, save as much as you can and invest your savings into the best investment products where you earn maximum real return, even by taking some calculated risk, not blind risk. Then comes second phase, Dr. Vijayalakshmi. Second phase is between 40 to 55. In that phase of life, of course, your income will increase, but your children will also grow up. Lot of liability, lot of things will keep happening in that phase of life. So in that phase of life, you should continue to focus on maximizing your real return on investment, but you should also keep an eye on the aspect of liquidity. Because Dr. Vijayalakshmi, in that phase of life, between 40 to 55, we will have a lot of things to do in our life. So for those things, we will need huge money in our life. So we should also keep an eye on the liquidity. Simply means When I need money, I should have money. That is liquidity. That is a simple thing I am telling you. When I should have need money, I should have money. So you should also keep eye on the liquidity. And those participants who are above 55, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi, when you will enter in that phase of life, our mindset automatically changes. Then, like me, what I am thinking today now, Baba, I am not bothered about the real return or maximum return. I am more bothered and more concerned about securing the money which I have saved from 25 to 55 years. So safety of the money becomes paramount, Dr. Jay Lakshmi, in that phase of life. I can compromise on the return, but I can't compromise on the safety aspect of the money. So in different phases of life, my dear friends, we should take investment decision according to our risk appetite. Then second thing we have to think about ourselves is time horizon of investment. And Dr. Vijay Lakshmi, that is equally important, but we normally don't think about such things in our life. When I get money, I invest it. No. Why? Because I will need money, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi, not in one go. I will need money in my life at many times. For many milestones in my life, I will need money. So we should invest our money, keeping period of investment in mind. And for that, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi, again, Mr. Shankar, if you can open your video. I want to give a very small exercise to all of you, those who are young, and like Dr. Vijay Lakshmi. No, not here, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi. Next Sunday at your home, not today. Next Sunday at your home, I am giving a very small exercise. And I want 1 hour of yours next Sunday. Would you give me, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi, next Sunday? Mr. Shankar, would you give me 1 hour next Sunday?
Sure, sir.
Don't worry, I am not coming to your home. I want 1 hour only.
Okay, sir. Okay.
No, sir.
What I am requesting you, kindly request all your family members to be with you. Sit with them. Have one paper and one pen with you. Make 3 columns on the paper. First column, second column, and it's a very important thing I am telling Mr. Shankar. First column, second column, and third column. Make 3 columns on the paper. In the first column, you kindly jot down the milestones which are likely to happen in your life. And typically normal, what are the common milestones, Mr. Shankar? The first milestone in middle class, salary class life is marriage. Marriage is the first milestone. After that, once marriage is there, birth of the children, second celebration, second milestone. Then after that, after some time, some years, admission of the children in a good public school. That is next milestone. Am I right, Dr. Jay Lakshmi?
Yes.
After that, definitely your family will like you to have your own house if you don't have so far. So acquisition of the family house. Then family will like you to have 4-wheeler if you don't got so far. Because all other friends have taken, why you are not taking it? This is a social pressure we all have. So we will go for the 4-wheeler. Then there is a new milestone, Mr. Shankar. I don't know whether you are aware of it or not. But nowadays, there is a new milestone in your life. It was not in my life at least. But in your young people, it is that this milestone is there. That is, every family will like you to take them on vacation. Every family. Arey Baba, why you are in Tamil Nadu only? Go to the Karnataka, go to Kerala, go to Rajasthan, go to Gujarat, go to Maharashtra. And why limit to India only? Go beyond that. Go to USA, go to Switzerland, go to Australia. It is very natural. Every family likes it. So vacation has also become a very important milestone nowadays, which was not in my time at least. After that, Dr. Jay Lakshmi, very important milestone coming in your life after some year. That is higher education and professional education of children. Very important. Every parents want that my children should get the best higher education and professional education in their life. We all try to give them best education. Then after education is over, what will be the next milestone, Dr. Jay Lakshmi? Marriage. Marriage of children is the next milestone in our mind. About now they have completed their courses, they have got job. Let them get married. This is the next milestone. And last milestone, my dear friends, those who are young, I want to tell all of you, last milestone, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi, is your retirement life. It is very important milestone. And I don't think you have your pension in your college. Now, most of the college, most of the government, even government doesn't have pension now. So how you will survive in your retirement life? How you will survive? Typically or normally what we happen, we accumulate huge money for the retirement life. We invest that money and we get regular or monthly return from that investment and we survive. This is the normal course of our survival during retirement life. So these are the common milestones I have narrated, but Dr. Vijay Lakshmi and Dr. Shankar, I am giving you liberty. If you want to add any milestone, you can add note. So in the first milestone, in the first column, you have brought down all the milestone. Now in the second milestone, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi, against each milestone, put the period when it is likely to happen. Again, idea only. Suppose somebody say that I'm not yet married. I'm likely to be married after 2 years. So put it 2 years after against the marriage in the second column. Likewise, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 25 years, 30 years. Start putting the period against till retirement. Start putting the period. Now the very important thing now I am telling you. In the third column, my dear participants, against each milestone, put the money you will need for each milestone. Idea only. Again, simple idea. No precisely, Dr. Jayalakshmi, it will not be possible to have precise idea. But you just have what money you. So marriage, whatever amount you want, suppose if 10 lakhs you want, put it 10 lakhs. Like 10 lakh, 15 lakh, 20 lakh, 30 years. Start putting the money you will need for each milestone. Two very important milestones, my dear participants, I want to discuss with all of you. And students might be feeling, Arey Baba, why you are talking such nonsense to us? We are not still learning. Why you are taking so much of our time on this thing? My dear students, you are going to earn very soon. So you should also understand these nuances at this stage, so that you can manage your money when you start earning in a better way, in a more effective way, in a more beneficial way. So two important milestones I'm requesting to all of you, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi. First milestone is higher education and professional education of children. Dr. Vijay Lakshmi, can you tell me how much it costs around a good MBA degree from a good MBA institute today? 2-year MBA course. It costs around 20 lakhs. Am I right? Around 20 lakhs from a good MBA degree, from a good MBA institute. Dr. Vijay Lakshmi, can you tell me how much it will cost you after 20 years when your children will go for the higher education? Have you ever imagined 20 lakhs costing, which is coming today for a good MBA degree, my dear all participant? It will cost Mr. Shankar not less than 2 crore rupees after 20-25 years per child. Per child. And suppose, Mr. Shankar, you will have 2 child. Of course, you might have more than 2. But even conservatively speaking, suppose you have 2 children, how much you will need for their higher education, Mr. Shankar? Not less than 4 crore rupees. Not less than 4 crore rupees for your higher education only. Then put it 4 crore against their higher education. Then for marriage, not less than 1 crore. And last, Mr. Shankar, very important thing now I am telling to all of you, retirement life. Mr. Shankar, suppose you say that you are age of 30 years and you say that you are managing your monthly expenses with 30,000. But you can manage your monthly expenses around 30,000 at the age of 30. Dr. Jay Lakshmi, can you imagine how much money you will need when you become 60 after 30 years? Have you ever imagined? If you are managing your monthly expenses with 30,000 after 30 years, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi, for the same level of living, no extra venture, you will need not less than 2 lakh rupees per month. Mind it, very important thing I am telling you. You will need not less than 2 lakh rupees per month because of inflation. Today you are managing with 30,000. you will need not less than 2 lakhs rupees after 30 years when you get retired at 60. So your annual expenses at the age of 60, how much it will be? Multiply it by 12, means 24 lakhs, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi, you will need at the age of 60. So how much retirement corpus you should develop? I am just giving you a thumb rule. Very important rule I am giving you. Your retirement corpus should be minimum 20 times of your annual expenses. I again repeat, your retirement corpus should be minimum 20 times of your annual expenses. Dr. Vijay Lakshmi, if your annual expenses at the age of 60 will be 24 lakhs, 2 multiplied by 12 becomes 24 lakhs. Take it 25 lakhs. So how much retirement corpus you should develop? Not less than 5 crore rupees, not less than, because you will generally get 5% return on your retirement corpus, that will be 25 lakhs. So my dear participants, if you don't have pension, you will have to develop a retirement corpus, Dr. Jai Lakshmi, of not less than 5 crore rupees. Now I am getting you scary, Dr. Jai Lakshmi and all participants. Kindly make the total of the last column. And you get scary. A normal middle class, salary class person, Dr. Jai Lakshmi, who is around 30 today, will need not less than 10 to 12 crore rupees from their for their milestones only in their life. And that, Dr. Jai Lakshmi, I have excluded your normal expenditure from 30 to 60 every month. Monthly expenses I have simply excluded. So how much you will need? Around 10 to 12 crore rupees. Dr. Jai Lakshmi, from where you will get it? I don't know where Mr. Shankar has gone. Dr. Jai Lakshmi might be very lucky going to some big TV show, winning 7 crore rupees. But then how many of us will win? 1 or 2? What about the others? What about all of us? Yes, my dear friends, now I can give confidence to all of you. All young participants like Jai Lakshmi ma'am and Shankar and all, even students should understand it. You all can have 10 to 12 crore rupees in your life for your milestone, provided, Mr. Shankar, provided you start sincerely working on your savings and investment from today itself. It is a must. And the chart which we have just prepared, Mr. Shankar, the first column, second column, third column, this chart is called financial plan. This chart is called financial plan. And Dr. Vijay Lakshmi, I'm of the firm opinion, I will request all the young participants like Mr. Shankar and you and all, even students, every family must have their financial plan. Every family must have their financial plan. Why? Because, Mr. Shankar, it will give us purpose of saving and investment. It will give us a clear idea how much money I will need at what time. So kindly draw a financial plan, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi, next Sunday, sitting with your all family members. And it is not a rocket science. Damn easy thing, very simple thing. You sit with them, discuss with them, what will be the milestone in your life, jot it down in 3 columns, 1 column, 3 columns, and put it the money, and financial plan is ready. And frame it and put it in your drawing room. And daily when you woke up in the morning, Dr. Jai Lakshmi, first go and salute to the financial plan. What you say? I am going according to my financial plan, whether I am going or not. If I am not going, then I will go from today onwards. I will save as much as I can. I will invest my savings in the best investment product where I earn maximum real return. So financial plan is the most important thing. I again repeat all of you, and every family must have financial plan. Now, second word was understand. What we have to understand, Mr. Shankar, we have to understand where I am investing, what is the product. Whether product where I am investing is according to my risk appetite. Jayalakshmi ma'am, there are good products, but have got high risk, but I can't take high risk. So that those products are not good for me. Likewise, Mr. Shankar and you are in a position to take high risk. Then why you should invest your money in conservative products which have lower risk? You should invest your money in some high risk products to earn higher return. So analyze every product according to your risk appetite. Then according to your time horizon. Suppose some product will give you return after 3 years. Vijayalakshmi ma'am or Jayalakshmi ma'am, and you want money after 2 years. So product is not good for you. Product may be good, but it is not for you because you will need money after 2 years, where the product will give return after 3 years. So analyze each product according to your risk appetite and time horizon, and invest only when those products come within the framework of your risk appetite and time horizon. One more thing I want to tell all of you about the investment, Mr. Shankar. Very important thing now again I'm telling you. That is the rule of compounding. Jayalakshmi ma'am, Mr. Shankar, rule of compounding is 8th wonder of the world. And this I am not saying. The greatest scientist on the earth, Einstein, has told us that rule of compounding is 8th wonder of the world. And what is the importance of rule of compounding in investment, my dear friends? Very simply speaking, Mr. Shankar, from today onwards, you have to make a promise with yourself. And not you, all participants. Jayalakshmi ma'am, that whatever and whenever I will earn some return on my investment, I will never use those return for my personal consumption, for my celebration, or for my any other thing. What I will do, I will simply club those return or income with my regular investment and invest. I will never use my return on investment or income on my investment for my personal consumption. This promise you have to make it. Of course, Mr. Shankar, it is not easy. You are smiling, I know. It is not easy, but it is not difficult, my dear friend. It is not. You have to do it. Rule of compounding, you have to follow religiously. And if we all follow rule of compounding in our life, Mr. Shankar, I can promise you down the line after 15, 20 years, you will be mesmerized that your return portion, Dr. Jayalakshmi, has become much greater than your original investment. But it will not happen today. It will not happen in 2 or 3 years. Dr. Jayalakshmi, it will happen after 15, 20 years. So kindly religiously follow rule of compounding in your investments. This is all about the first segment. Last 10-15 minutes, I will take more of you, if you permit me, where we will discuss what are the products available for us to invest, because this is equally important. We have just so far discussed about the general things about the investment, savings and investment. Now, we are going to discuss what are the products available for all of us. The first product category for all of middle class, salary class person, Dr. Jayalakshmi, is governmental small saving schemes. Government of India has got a good number of small saving schemes for all of us. And kindly note it down if you want to note it down. The first and foremost governmental saving scheme, Dr. Jayalakshmi, is Public Provident Fund Account, PPF. I don't know whether Dr. Jayalakshmi has opened an account in PPF or not. I don't know. From her face, I can't make out whether she has opened an account or not. But if you have not done, you have done something wrong. You have missed something. Done. Great. Those who have not opened PPF account must think of opening a PPF account as early as you can. And even you students, you should understand, PPF account is a unique Government of India scheme, which are triply exempt, no tax at any level. The PPF account can be opened, Dr. Jayalakshmi, you must be aware, with any bank or post office. Preferably, you should open the account with your bank where you have your savings bank account. Minimum amount you can deposit in this account every year is 250 rupees. 500 rupees. And maximum amount you can deposit is, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi, is 1.50 lakhs. The scheme is for 15 years. But Dr. Vijay Lakshmi, you might not be aware. It can be extended for a period of 5 years, and then 5 years, and then 5 years. It keep going on extending. So you should extend it beyond 15 years also if you don't need money. And even today, government is giving you 7.10% interest. That is purely tax-free. And contribution in PPF account is also exempt under Income Tax Act Section 80C. So PPF account a very good proposition for all middle class, salary class. And Dr. Vijay Lakshmi, you can have more than one account. One of in your name, other in your husband's name. So you can have as much account you have in your family. PPF account is a very good scheme of Government of India. Two very small thing I want to tell about PPF. I don't know whether Dr. Jayalakshmi on is percent aware. Try to deposit 1.50 lakhs, which is the maximum limit in PPF account at the beginning of the financial year, that is in April, if possible, because that will give you interest for the whole year. If not possible, then whenever you deposit amount in the PPF, my dear participant, you should deposit before 5th of the month. Every time you should deposit, because Dr. Jayalakshmi, if you deposit amount after 5th, you will not get the interest for that month. So try to deposit before from 1st to 5th, you should try to deposit that amount. PPF account is a very good account. Then next scheme of the Government of India is National Saving Certificate, NSE. I don't have time to give details of all the schemes, but you can get the details on websites. Third is Kisan Vikas Patra. Kisan Vikas Patra, where we can invest. Fourth one is governmental securities. And for governmental security, Dr. Jayalakshmi, RBI has started a new portal very recently in December. The name of the portal is RBI Retail Direct. You kindly note it down and go and get the details of it. RBI Retail Direct. Then next scheme is, Dr. Jayalakshmi, RBI also keep issuing taxable and tax-free bonds time to time to the public. Then RBI also keep issuing taxable floating rate bonds of the government, floating rate bonds. Then lastly, government has started a new channel of investing into government undertakings. That channel name is Bharat Bond 1 and Bharat Bond 2. Bharat Bond 1 and Bharat Bond 2. All these schemes are under the umbrella of governmental small saving scheme. And Dr. Jayalakshmi, the uniqueness of these schemes is there is no risk at all. No risk at all. Whatever government has promised, government will give you. When your scheme matures, government will give you all your money which you have accumulated over a period of time. One very good scheme Government of India is there, that is for the girl child only. And Dr. Jayalakshmi, if you have got girl child at your home, or any participant has got girl child at home whose age is below 10, then a very good Government of India scheme is there. That is Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana. Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana, very good scheme of the Government of India, where government is still giving 7.60% interest, which no other scheme of the Government of India. Very good scheme of the government. It is for the education and marriage of the girl child. Kindly, only for the girl child. So if you have girl child, open their this account in their name. You become the guardian and deposit maximum 1.50 lakhs, minimum 250 every year you have to deposit. So it's very good scheme. All these schemes are Government of India schemes. And I personally feel, Dr. Jayalakshmi, I don't know whether you will agree with me or not. A normal middle class, salary class person, Mr. Narayana Naik sir, 15 to 20% of our investment should go into governmental schemes. 15 to 20% of our total investment should go into government scheme, because return are reasonable, Mr. Narayana, but 100% safety is there. No risk is there. So I feel that 15 to 20% of our investment should go into governmental scheme. Then second option is property, real estate, where we can invest, Narayana sir. I am not an expert on real estate. Mr. Shankar or Narayana sir might be an expert on property. Next time he may take a session on to all the participants about the property. But property has got risk element, kindly minded. Jayalakshmi ma'am. How much I will earn? Not sure. Whether I will be able to sell the property when I need it? Not sure. And for property investment, huge investment is required. You can't make investment in property by 5 lakh or 10 lakhs. You will need 50 lakhs to 1 crore, 2 crore to invest in property. But still, that option is there with risk. Third, where we can invest, third option is, Dr. Jayalakshmi, and I am 100% sure there will be a smile on your face. All my female participants will have a smile on their faces when I talk about this investment product that is called gold. Every female member is fascinated about the gold. Whenever we talk about the gold in my session, my female participants have a different smile on their faces. Are Baba, gold, no problem at all. As much as gold we have, it is better, it is good. Historically, Mr. Narayana sir, we have been investing in gold in physical form only by purchasing jewelry or in biscuits. But nowadays, my dear participant, time has changed. Digital gold investment is also available. Kindly think of it. And for that, a very good Government of India scheme is no private, Government of India scheme talking about, Dr. Jayalakshmi. The name of the scheme is, kindly note it down if you want to note down. Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme. Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme. This is the scheme being operated by all the banks. And you can minimum make investment of 1 gram gold price. And maximum you can invest, Jayalakshmi ma'am, is 4 kg gold. And when you can invest online and offline both. And when you go online investment, Narayana sir, you will get 50 rupees discount also of the price. To encourage online investment, government is giving you discount also. But if for any reason, if you are not able to do it, then go for online, offline, visit your bank. Most of the banks are operating this scheme. This scheme is for 7 years, Dr. Jayalakshmi. And government is giving you two benefits of it. First, government will give you 2.5% interest on your investment. 2.5% guaranteed return. Plus, appreciation in the gold price will also be given to you. Suppose today, and Dr. Jayalakshmi, the gold price is 50,000. And the scheme is for 8 years. After 8 years, the gold price is 80,000. Suppose. Then the difference between 80 to 50, that is 30,000, will also be given to you. So two benefits are there. It is 2.5% interest, and my dear, I will talk about the cryptocurrency at the end. And appreciation in the gold price. So you should consider investing into the sovereign gold bonds. And apart from that, mutual fund also have got ETF funds now. You can, and in these sovereign gold bond, no physical gold will be given to you. Dr. Jayalakshmi, government will simply issue a certificate that I have this much of gold. I am keeping this much of gold on behalf of Dr. Jayalakshmi with me. So digital is the best form of investment nowadays. Now, next option for all of us is security market, share bazaar, where we can invest. And Dr. Jayalakshmi, when I start talking about the share bazaar, there may be a message in the chat box. Don't talk about the share bazaar. It is a speculative market, sir. We don't know how market goes up, how market goes down. Yes, you are right. That is why I keep telling my all participants when I take sessions, never, never, never invest in security market directly when you don't have knowledge of the market. It has got risk, but then in gold also risk is there. In property risk is there. In security market risk is there because purely it is a knowledge-based market. And Dr. Jayalakshmi, if you are interested, next time we will have a technical session on security market for your students of 2 hours when we discuss in detail about all technicalities of the security market. I don't have time. So in security market, don't invest directly unless and until you have knowledge. But there is also indirect way of investing into security market. That is, Mr. Shankar, is called mutual funds. Mutual funds is an indirect way of investing into security market. Why it is indirect way? Because Mr. Shankar, we are not directly investing. We are giving our money to the experts. Understand mutual fund very clearly, Dr. Jayalakshmi. We are not directly investing. We are giving our money to the expert to invest in the scheme which we have identified. Here we are giving our money to the experts. Why, Mr. Shankar? Simply because we don't have knowledge, they have knowledge. Simply because we don't have expertise, they have expertise. Simply because we don't have experience of the security market, they have. That is why we are giving them. But the proposition is very clear, Mr. Shankar. I am giving my money to the mutual fund expert to earn maximum real return for me. Very simple. It is not a social service. Mind it. I am giving my money to earn maximum return for me. And so mutual fund is a proposition where we can give our small amount of money regularly or one time with the expectation of getting good return. There are 3 major categories of mutual funds, my dear participants. I don't have time, otherwise I would have gone into details of all these things. Next time when Mr. Shankar and Jayalakshmi ma'am will give me time, we will have a other dedicated session on mutual fund as well. For 2 hours, minimum 2 hours I want for that session as well. There are 3 major categories of mutual fund schemes. One is equity fund. Mr. Shankar, in equity fund, your money will be invested into the equity share of the corp. Understand very carefully. In equity fund, Dr. Jayalakshmi, your money will be invested into the equity share of the companies. And when your money is invested in equity share, Mr. Shankar, you are all aware, equity share always go up and down. So there is high risk. There is high risk. But there is probability of getting high return. No guarantee. I am again repeating very clearly, no guarantee. But probability of getting higher return. So those who are young like the Dr. Jayalakshmi and Mr. Shankar and other participants, those who can take risk and those who can invest for longer period, equity fund is a better proposition for all of you. Second category is debt fund. In debt fund, Mr. Shankar, your money will be given as a loan to the corporate. Mind, understand the difference. In equity fund, your money will be invested into the equity share. In debt fund, your Jayalakshmi ma'am, your money will be given as a loan to the corporate. And when a loan is given, rate of interest is pre-decided normally and risk is lesser. So in debt fund, risk is lesser, but return is reasonable. In equity fund, risk is higher, but probability of getting higher return is there. And the third category is also there, that is called hybrid fund. In hybrid fund, Mr. Shankar, a portion of your money will go to the equity fund and other portion will go to the debt fund. So you are balancing your risk in the same product, in the one product itself. You are aspiring for higher return, but at the same time, you are managing your risk as well. So hybrid fund are for those who are aspiring for reasonable return, but are not to take higher exposure. Hybrid fund is there. There are 2 plans in mutual fund. One is direct plan and other is regular plan. In direct plan, Jayalakshmi ma'am, you visit the website of the corporate of the mutual fund company, select the scheme, give the information online, and you are invested online. KYC also, and now KYC can also be completed online. So direct plan, there is no third person in between you and that. But if you are not able to invest in direct plan, then other option is also there, Dr. Jayalakshmi, that is called regular plan. In regular plan, you will have to call the mutual fund distributor duly registered with Amfi. They will come to you, but don't give them the liberty of selecting the scheme for you. Never, never, never. You first select the scheme and just ask them to come with the application form of that scheme. They will come to you. They will help you out in filling the form. They will take document from you. They will take check from you, and then you will get invested. And in the regular plan, Mr. Shankar minded, since you will getting the services of some individuals, definitely they will get some fee or commission, and that will go out of your investment or return. So in regular plan, return will always be lesser as compared to direct plan. So I will request all of you to go to the direct plan only. One very important thing I want to tell you, two very specific feature of mutual funds are there, my dear participant. One is SIP. Mr. Shankar, for you now, SIP, Systematic Investment Plan. In SIP is a magic for middle class, salary class person, my dear participants. It is a magic for all of us. In SIP, what happens, Dr. Jayalakshmi? We regularly invest a very small amount, minimum 100 rupees we start investing, and we invest regularly for a longer period. And SIP is a magic for a middle class, salary class person, my dear friends. I just want to share a very factual example, but I will not name the scheme and the mutual fund company, Mr. Shankar, because it will be unfair on my part to marketing of those schemes. But facts are there, so kindly understand what I am saying now for SIP. One equity scheme was started in 1995. Note down the dates very carefully, Dr. Jayalakshmi. One equity fund was started in 1995 by a mutual fund company. And a small investor like Dr. Jayalakshmi started an SIP of 10,000 rupees per month. Means you are investing 10,000 rupees every month on a particular date. Every month you are investing right from 1995. Continuously you are investing till today, and every month you have invested. And during that period, Mr. Shankar, market might have got down, market might have got up, but she was very particular and regular in investing in those schemes every month 10,000 rupees. It is very important. Can you tell me, Dr. Jayalakshmi, what is the amount today you have accumulated in that scheme? I again repeat, from 1995 onwards, every month 10,000 rupees SIP. Mr. Shankar, today the amount has, the accumulation has become 9.57 crore. 9.57 crore. This is the magic of SIP. But 2-3 things you must understand, Dr. Jayalakshmi. Once you start SIP, you should not stop it for you should be a long-term investor, minimum 10-15 years. Then now top-up facilities also there were. Suppose you started with 500 rupees, you can increase the amount from 500 to 1,000 to 2,000 to 500,000 every month when your income increases. You should continue to invest for a longer period. And nowadays, Mr. Shankar, I know a lot of my friends who have got more than one SIP, not one SIP, more than one. That is target-oriented SIP. One SIP for education of children, one SIP for retirement plan, one SIP for going on vacation, one SIP for marriage of children. What are targets you have? So you can start more than one SIP, and SIP is a magic for middle class, salary class person in mutual fund. The one more facility there in mutual fund, Dr. Jayalakshmi, it is called SWP. I just discussed SIP. Now I am discussing SWP. Mr. Shankar, SWP means Systematic Withdrawal Plan. It is opposite of SIP. In SIP, I was regularly investing every month, Dr. Jayalakshmi. But in SWP, now I am regularly withdrawing some money from my mutual fund corpus. Basically, it is useful when I get retired. I have been very smart. I have accumulated a good amount um, for my retirement plan. Now I have retired. I don't have any income. I don't have any pension. How to survive, Mr. Sankar? Very simple procedure is available. When you get retired, simply write to a mutual fund manager. Next month onward, kindly keep transferring this much of amount from my corpus to my bank account on first. They will do it. And so, what will be the first benefit, Dr. Jayalakshmi? First benefit will be you will get a reasonable fixed amount every month in your bank account after retirement. So you can enjoy your retirement life without any burden. This is the first benefit. Second benefit, whatever corpus remain with them is continue to get returned. So your amount will get returned, regularly get returned also. So SWP is a beneficial proposition for your retirement life. But for that, Dr. Jayalakshmi, you will have to accumulate a huge amount for your retirement life during your active life. I have a lot of things to share with mutual funds, but I don't have time. Last two things I want to tell all the participants, and Mr. Sankar, through you and through Jayalakshmi ma'am, I want to tell two things to all of you and to all the participants. First is, one menace is in my country, my dear participants, that is called Ponzi scheme, chit fund and committees. Mr. Sankar, people do come with promise of giving you higher return, doubling your money in 3 or 4 years. They are fraudsters. They are scamsters. They will never make you their promise good. They will take your money and vanish. So I will request all of you, never invest your hard-earned money in Ponzi scheme, chit fund and committees. And I know you are all educated, you will not do it. But I want to give you a responsibility, Mr. Sankar. Are you willing to take one responsibility on my behalf in your area? Dr. Jayalakshmi, I will request all of you, kindly start an investor awareness campaign through your students in your area for those people who are not so educated. You are electrician, you are a plumber, you are a milk vendor, you are rickshawala, you are taxi driver, you are a peon. Normally, they invest in those fraud schemes. Make people aware that they should never invest their hard-earned money in those bogus schemes. If they don't have any idea, they simply put their money in bank and post office. At least their money will be safe. At least they will not lose them. So kindly start this campaign. I will be very grateful. And last thing I want to tell Dr. Jayalakshmi through you to all the participants. Prosperity is your right. I am telling to all the participants, madam, prosperity is your right. Every individual has got right to be prosper. I might have born into a poor family, Mr. Sankar. It makes no sense, nothing at all. I might have born into poor family. So that was not a curse. But Jayalakshmi ma'am, living as poor and die as poor is a curse. And we can all take care of this curse simply by managing our money right from the day we start earning. Thank you very much for giving me time. I hope if I have taken a lot of your time, kindly excuse me. And I will now request Mr. Sankar first to unmute himself and give your opinion about the session. Then Dr. Jayalakshmi, and then we will take question and answer session.
Good afternoon, sir. It's actually very informative, and we are learn about how to invest and how it will be get a prospects in our life. Finance is a very important thing. As you said, we need to earn it by taking off a risk. But you suggest some of the product which makes us to get money with very less risk, but it's improving our financial position. So it's a very informative session, sir. We will enjoy your section. Thank you once again. As you said, if you have a time, we will discuss the very depth manner about the technical session of our mutual fund, sir.
Yes, definitely. Definitely we will have. Thank you very much.
Thank
Dr.
you.
Jayalakshmi.
It's a very nice session, sir. We have got a lot of information, and it is also a platform by giving understanding about the essential aspects of attitude and confidence to the each and every members in their lifestyles. We have given a lot of information regarding unit product, the different types of unit product. Example, floater, the umbrella product, then emergency fund. Then what's the difference between the investor and the investment, and the purchase of assets? How we are going to invest in the our savings, whether in the investor or the investment. Then for especially for the girls, female students, what is the different types of schemes? And then Kishan Mission, Patras, NSS, PPF, lot of things we have gathered, sir. It is very much useful to each and every participant in this session. Thank you very much, sir. I ensure, sir, this seminar will be very profitable and fruitful for everyone present here, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very
Very
much.
nice information, sir.
Any question
Thank
from
you,
any
sir.
participant? They can directly raise their hand. We will mute and we will make them unmute. They can directly ask the question. Any question from any participant? They can just raise their hand. Or you can ask the question if you have got some question in chat box.
Hello. You want question?
Yeah.
Sure, wait.
Yeah, Mr. Shashi Kumar. Hello.
Mr. Avinish Kumar, please unmute your ID option.
Mr. Avinish Kumar. Please unmute yourself. Mr. Avinish. Okay, me. Mr. Sabdar, yeah, Mr. Avinish.
MI, please unmute your ID option. MI. Okay. Avinish Kumar, please.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
I want to know, sir, how to find good stock to invest. Yes.
I couldn't get you.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Happy good afternoon.
Mr. Sabdar, one by one only.
Okay, sir.
How to download certificate?
Sir, my name is Ranjit Kumar. I talk about feedback. This session is very amazing in my life.
Thank you very much. Any question from your side?
Yes, sir.
Any question from your side?
Sir, voice is not.
Sir, I want to know, sir, how to choose better stock to invest in market, sir.
Yes, second question.
Please, sir, unmute your ID option, sir. Please, sir.
As far as selection of a stock is concerned, you have to equip yourself with the knowledge of the security market first. So don't be in hurry. Spend your time in understanding the nuances of the security market. Only then you should think of invest directly. But in the meantime, I will request all, even your students, kindly start investing through SIP in mutual fund, in equity fund or index fund. Out of your pocket money, 100 rupees minimum you can start. And after some time, you will have the flair of how mutual fund functions or how mutual fund works.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you,
I-
One thing.
How to download certificate?
Mr. Sabjar, kindly do it one by one only.
Mr. Ashu Vakmare, please ask question.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
One thing is very amazing, sir. How to manage the risk.
Management of risk, my dear, is an art and science both.
Yes, sir. Yes.
You can manage your risk by taking into account your risk taking capacity and your time horizon of investment.
Yes, sir.
That is the most. So first you should understand what is your risk taking capacity, and then for how long, how much period you want to invest. Both these things should be clear to you.
Yes, sir. Then, sir, second, sir, this is the amazing session.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you.
One
Okay,
question.
am I?
1 minute, sir. One question is amazing, sir. What is main source of money? This is amazing question, sir. In my life.
The main source of money for the most of the middle class, salary class person is your regular income, monthly income, which we get from the employer. In the business, we get income from the business. In the profession, we get income from the profession. So there are different sources for different category of persons.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, Mr.
Okay, sir.
Thank you very much.
Sir.
Any other question from any participant, or we can finish it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. This session is very amazing, sir, in my life and my teacher. Yes,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. A note of thanks. As all good things come to an end in life, on behalf of Department of Business Administration, Mahendra Arts and Science College, I take this opportunity to propose vote of thanks. I would like to thank our principal, sir, for his enthusiastic support. At the outset, I thank our chief guest. We are really enlightened with your knowledge and presence, sir. I would like to thank our beloved head of the department, Mr. Sasikumar, sir, for his constant help and support and guidance. I am very much thankful to our faculty colleagues and heartfelt thanks to our students for active participation. With these warm words, thanks to all to you for making this event successful. We move to the end of the today's webinar. Thank you, sir.
Sir, please unmute your adoption.
Thank you very much. On my behalf and on behalf of Amfi, I am thankful to all of you. We will definitely have continued relationship for such activities. I am thankful to you, Honorable Principal. Convey my thanks to our Honorable Principal, HOD, Dr. Jayalakshmi, and and all core team members. And a special thank, of course, goes to Mr. Sabjar Ahmed for coordinating the event. Mr. Sabjar, thank you very much. God bless you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.